Hi, Mr. Johnson. So my question or comments are related to what you said yesterday about not being open to pass any legislation to ensure that military gets paid. I'm sure you can tell by my voice I'm very shaky. Just want you to hear a little bit about my family. I have two medically fragile children. I have a husband who actively serves this country. He suffers from PTSD from his 2 tours in Afghanistan. If we see a lapse in pay come the 15th, my children do not get to get the medication that's needed for them to live their life, because we live paycheck to paycheck. As a Republican, I'm very disappointed in my party, and I'm very disappointed in you, because you do have the power to call the House back. You did that, or you refused to do that just for a show. I am begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die. I think that it is awful, and the audacity of someone who makes 6 figures a year to do this to military families is insane.
Open the door, Mr. Speaker. Open the doors of Congress, Mr. Speaker. Why did you cancel votes when we are just hours away from a federal government shutdown? All because you want to bend the knee to Donald Trump and refuse to protect health care, to cancel the cuts, to lower costs for the American people. Let us in so that we can do our jobs. Cancel your vacation and those Republicans who refuse to be here. You want to debate? Let's debate in front of the American people, but don't sacrifice people's health care in the mix.
All right, I'm here in D.C. We just finished a press conference with all the House Democrats. We are here in Washington, D.C. at the Capitol right now, ready to work to keep the government open. But guess where the Republicans are? The Republicans in Congress are not in Congress. They're on vacation right now. We're literally the only ones here. And it just goes to show that they have, number one, put us in a healthcare crisis. They want to go into a shutdown so that way they can take away healthcare from more people. We're here to say we want to keep the government open. We're not going to vote for a bill that's going to rip away healthcare from people. Get over here and let's work to make sure that this doesn't happen. But they're nowhere to be found. They're on vacation. And you can visually see the fact that all the Democrats are here, but none of the Republicans are here. So call your representative and tell them to get to work.
Hey everyone, I'm here at the U.S. Capitol. Been here since yesterday, ready to work. Unfortunately, many of my Republican colleagues didn't show up. Well, 2 did today. They showed up to the House floor. What did they do? They motioned to adjourn and walked off the floor, quitting work, knowing the clock is ticking. Because if we don't have a resolution done by midnight, government will shut down. All we're asking is to protect health care. So many millions of Americans, the most vulnerable among us, rely on government to protect them, rely on government to make sure that the healthcare cost does not continue to rise. We know it's a crisis. We know more needs to be done. But for you not to show up to work when you control the House, you control the Senate, you control the White House, you are politicking with people's lives. And so I'm telling everyone out there, make sure you are engaged, make sure you're pushing back, because right now when the federal government shuts down, it is us, the people in the communities that we represent, that will be impacted the most.
Hey everybody, I'm on the House steps of the U.S. Capitol because Democrats are here ready to get to work and make sure that we get a deal that cancels the cuts, lowers costs for the American people, and saves healthcare. And it is the most galling thing that Mike Johnson sent Republicans home. They are not here. They are not negotiating a deal, and they control government. Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House, and they are refusing to do what they need to do to govern and to save healthcare. We just heard these incredibly powerful testimonies from a woman with 2 kids on the autism spectrum, from a man who has cancer, stage 4 cancer, and what the healthcare cuts that have already been passed, plus the ones that are coming, are going to do to destroy people. A nurse who's dedicated her life to saving people, who sees people dying because they can't get healthcare. It is wrong, and that's why Democrats are in this, to fight for the American people, to fight for healthcare, and to make sure that if Republicans need our votes, then we are able to save healthcare for the American people.
Hey everyone, Congresswoman Delia Catalina Ramirez. I just left the House floor. Democrats, we all showed up to do our job during Performa, which is at a time where the Speaker could actually open up and accept a continuing resolution. The Speaker single-handedly decided not to recognize Rosa DeLauro, our appropriations ranking member, who had a CR, continuing resolution, to keep the government open and restore health care, and he would not even recognize her. The fact that so many of us asked him to recognize her and he absolutely ignored her makes it very clear. Republicans want the government to shut down. They wear the jacket. They have the opportunity. We're here. We're in the Capitol doing our jobs. They should be flying here immediately and making sure the government stays open instead of they're on vacation, having fun, whatever the heck they're doing right now. So I want you to know that Democrats are going to stay here and we're going to do everything we can to keep the government open. Republicans, do your job. Don't shut us down.
If you didn't know, we ended up winning a special election in Arizona. Our newest member, who has not been sworn in, Congresswoman-elect Grijalva, is ready to sign and be the 218th signature on the discharge petition. Now, for those of you that don't know what a discharge petition is, let me tell you, it's usually just a messaging tool. We usually do not get the number of signatures that we need to override the speaker. The speaker is the only one that can really, for the most part, put bills on the floor. There are exceptions, and this is one of those exceptions. And basically, think of it like if your state has a petition process, if the people that are elected into office don't want to file bills or pass bills that you want, but let's say you want same-day voter registration or online voter registration, and your state allows you to do something, or we saw the ballot initiatives around reproductive access. We saw that happen in Ohio. We saw it happen in Missouri and so many of these other red states where their elected leaders would not put anything on the floor. So the people had to rise up. So we in the House, we basically have that same opportunity. If there's something that the body of members actually wants to put forward, then it takes 218 signatures. Right now we have 217. The 218th signature will be Representative-elect Grijalva's signature. But since we're not in session and since we shut down, they've made all the excuses in the world not to swear her in, and they could have swore her in just yesterday.
It is day 2 here in DC. Look at me, I'm surrounded by all of these beautiful structures, these beautiful people, all here to work. And am I sworn in yet? No. Do I know when I'm gonna get sworn in? No. Speaker Johnson has left the building. And unfortunately, what that means for us is Southern Arizona does not have a voice here to advocate for you. You also don't have services in district. I need to get sworn in order for that to happen. Every day that I am here without being sworn in, Southern Arizona loses. Reach out to Speaker Johnson. Let him know that I need to get sworn in.
Samantha, I'm so sorry to hear about your situation. The reason I've been so angry this week, and they've been calling me out on media, Johnson's angry. I am angry because of situations just like yours. I have a big military district, and my district is the home of the Global Strike Command at Barksdale Air Force Base and Fort Polk, the Joint Readiness Training Center. I have one of the biggest military districts and military families in America. I have a lot of airmen and soldiers who are deployed right now, and they have young families at home, and they have children in health situations like yours. This is what keeps me up at night. I want you to hear something very clearly. The Republicans are the ones delivering for you. We had a vote to pay the troops. It was the continuing resolution 3 weeks ago. Every single Republican but 2 voted to keep the government open so that your paycheck can flow. Every Democrat in the House, except for 1, voted to close it. The Democrats are the ones that are preventing you from getting a check.